Visit to the Blessed Sacrament from the writings of St. Peter, Julian, Eymard. Self-abasement in the Eucharist continued. Our Lord is present in the sacred host. He assumes the state of the sacred species. He takes the place of their substance. He has subordinated his mode of being to the mode of being of the species, which become the form of his life and determine its duration. He is, as it were, their subject, for he is ruled by them and is dependent on them. They do not, it is true, affect his divine life, and the destruction of them is not detrimental to his glorified body, but nevertheless, when they cease to exist, he withdraws. He is united to them. He is subject to their laws of motion, to the humiliations inflicted on them. He is treated like them. When we look at them, we see the state of our Lord, his exterior mode of being. The species are so destitute that they can no longer possess their own being. The consecration has done away with the substance to which nature had bound them. They no longer own the natural property of their existence, for they exist only through a miracle. Our Lord is like the species. In the Blessed Sacrament he has no property at all. He brings nothing from heaven except himself. He does not own a single stone or church. He is as poor as the sacred species, poorer therefore than at Bethlehem. There he owned at least himself. He had a body which could move and speak and grow. He could receive visitors and accept gifts from his friends. But here he can do nothing of all this. He is surrounded with gifts, but all this does not change his personal condition. The altar may be of gold, and 1,000 lights may shine upon it. Jesus is nonetheless poor and hidden beneath the sacred species. Legally he does not exist and is incapable of receiving anything. It is as if he were dead. The glory of a religious who takes the vow of poverty is to resemble him. Our Lord is, as it were, wrapped up and bound in a shroud. The sacred species are his only garment, a garment that is ever the same, a garment that is not even a substance or a natural being, and so frail that without a continual miracle it would be destroyed and could not exist an instant. Such is our Lord in all his poverty. We need to see him and ponder in his destitution. We need to see him and ponder on his destitution in order to take the vow of poverty. Study his poverty, which is that of the host, and you will learn how far you should carry the spirit of detachment and of poverty. Spiritual Communion. My Jesus, I believe that you are really present in the Blessed Sacrament. I love you above all things, and I long to receive you into my soul. Since I cannot now receive you sacramentally, come at least spiritually into my heart. I embrace you as one who has already come, and unite myself entirely to you. Never permit me to be separated from you. Visit to the Blessed Virgin Mary from the Imitation of Mary. The interior life continued. The people who, by their way of life, seem to be always with God are often not what they seem to be. Their heart is divided up between a crowd of useless affections. Their mind is distracted by a multitude of empty thoughts. God alone occupies the thoughts of the interior man. God alone occupies his intentions and his heart. Nothing else, however splendid, moves him. We should regulate the exterior in accordance with the interior, but most men invert the order. For them the exterior regulates and perverts the interior. Try then to remain within yourself and give yourself to external affairs only when God requires it. Even then, follow the attractions of grace which will summon you into yourself to examine your affections and intentions. Do not believe that the interior life is proper only to certain states and times. It is compatible with the duties of any state of life and with even the most absorbing occupations. It can be practiced in adversity as well as in prosperity, in sickness as well as in health, in action as well as in rest, in times of upset and trial as well as in times of calm and peace. There is no situation in which we cannot enter into ourselves and examine what is going on there. Above all, however, apply yourselves to the practices of the interior life if God calls you to apostolic work. If you neglect this means of perfection, you will get too involved in external things and seek yourself rather than God. On the other hand, God will not want to use you to help souls make progress because you cannot teach others to practice what you yourself hardly practice. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Our Lady, Virgin, most prudent.